no. Like, oh my goodness sakes. That's what Moses is going through. And he's like, enough. You got a spiritual problem here that's manifesting itself in an attitude of the people. An attitude that displayed itself in selfishness and consumption versus generosity and service. Look at Moses in this reading and all the stuff that he was going through and what was happening with the people complaining. And he's like, come on, I just can't take this anymore. This is crazy what's going on. It just gets really weird when this stuff starts happening. There's definitely times like this when we feel like we're at the end of our rope. And Moses was there. I mean, these children of Israel have been in Egypt. They've been there for 400 years. The Lord came and he rescued them through the 10 plagues, so they saw the power of God. And even after they left, God led them with a pillar of fire at night and a cloud by day. Another miracle. They get to the Red Sea. What happens? Oh, we can't cross the Red Sea. There's no way we can cross it. God does a miracle, splits the Red Sea. And then they go across not on mud, but on dry land. Another miracle. They get fully across. The Egyptians come in. Another miracle. Red Sea closes. They die. I mean, miracle after miracle after miracle. And now they're wandering around for a couple of years, and God was feeding them with manna. Folks, this stuff just fell from the sky. They didn't have to cultivate the land. They didn't have to plant the seed. They didn't have to water. They didn't have to pick the weeds. They didn't have to do anything. They just had to go out, pick it up, and eat it. And if it was from God, this is like perfect food. You know, I'm thinking no calories, no saturated fat. I mean, that's good stuff. And every day they went out except the Sabbath. They couldn't go out on the Sabbath, so here's another miracle. The day before, God allowed them to collect twice as much so that they would have enough for the Sabbath. Miracle after miracle after miracle. And yet in the midst of it, they went, we don't have enough. We want something else. We're just sick of this stuff. You know? Give us something else. It's crazy, right? Everybody just reminds me like of a couple kids in a car. A couple of kids in the back of the car, they got their iPads, right? They're working on the games and stuff, and suddenly they go to their parents, this isn't good enough. We want something else. And the parents go, well, wait a minute. We just got you those iPads like 8-10 months ago. And they say, well, don't you know there's a new one that's out there? We want the new one. This isn't good enough. You know, no. Like, oh my goodness sakes. That's what Moses is going through. And he's like, enough. It's crazy. It's not that we need new and different things or better things. Instead, you got a spiritual problem here that's manifesting itself in an attitude of the people. An attitude that displayed itself in selfishness and consumption versus generosity and service. So what really ticked off Moses and what really got him running on empty was the consumeristic attitude of the people. We want what we want, and we want it when we want it. And you better get it. Rather than being thankful that God provided and food just fell from the sky. It's easy for people to lose hope. And guess what? It even happened to Moses. In fact, Moses said this to God: I simply cannot keep carrying them along. They are way too heavy. If you plan to treat me like this, then just kill me now. If you care about me at all, just put me out of my misery so I do not have to live out this distress. Can you imagine Moses saying that? Lord, if this is the way it's going to be and they're going to complain like this, I'm tired of putting it up with this. Just put me out of my misery and kill me now. Especially when we're at the end of our rope. We've got a short fuse. We've had it up to here. We don't want to take any more. We're just through with it and we're angry and we need Jesus. We need Jesus. And in fact, that happened in our text. In our text, the solution wasn't that Moses leave or wasn't that the people be killed. The solution was that God came and spoke through 70 elders that Moses picked out. And those elders prophesied to the people. So the solution was to turn to God and His Word. And that focus on God and His Word was to be the solution for the problem that they were facing in this text.